What's up, family? You know, we coming at y'all with a new video. You know, better days are to come, family. Remember, there's no such thing as a bad day, y'all. So, if you think there's something wrong with you, it's probably because you feel, negativity around you, or you just don't feel good within you. So, I'm gonna remind you, always go within yourself. Because once you find that peace, y'all, you live with it. But think about this, family. Everybody, y'all, 90% of people, y'all, are living in this world with no knowledge of self. So they are pretty much robots at that point because they don't know who they truly are. You know what I'm saying, family? That's why it is important to stand out in this world, y'all. Not to cause, tension or to want attraction, but because you want to feel like you know who you are in a world where people don't, because you want to feel like you are secure. You want to feel like you have strength, Strength is not determined by how many reps you can do. It's about how much power and how much, things you can withstand, y'all. You have to have the ability to endure, whether that's pain, whether that's guilt, whether that's just, nonsense, y'all. You have to embrace for impact, y'all, because the worst is yet to come, y'all. You think that you have a bad day right now? No. When you lose somebody, you will have a bad day if you are close to them. Whether you lost them in the physical or you lost them, and you don't talk to them no more. A bad day is going to come for all of us, family. There's nothing we can do to avoid that. But the Most High is going to put you in scenarios to build you up, to get stronger mentally, y'all. You have to be able to be real strong, y'all. It's mentally before the physically, because no matter how strong you are in the flesh, y'all, there's things in this world that you can't control. That's why you have to embrace for the impact, y'all. The only thing you should be worried about right now, chosen one, is to build your energy up, y'all, because that's your currency. That's how you get around in the world. A light bulb, y'all, is bright, y'all. That's what you want to be, because you want to feel like you are light on your feet. You don't want to feel heavy. You don't want to feel like you have no glow, because you're not going to truly love yourself. And when you don't love yourself, you're not going to take care of yourself. Why you think everybody who don't like themselves, y'all, they let themselves go and they don't get strength or they don't, work out? What happens? All that body weight builds up, y'all. Their face, it gets chunky, I'm trying to save y'all that time, because nobody should ever have to feel like that, especially if it was something that you couldn't control, y'all. A lot of people, y'all, whatever happens in this world, y'all, you must learn to adapt and to be calm, because there's just shit in this world, y'all, that's gonna hit you, whether it hits you or it doesn't. You still gotta prepare your mind, because you don't know what's to come, family. But while you're here, family, remember, you have the ability to make a change, y'all. You have the power to help souls, y'all. Once you are healed, y'all, you become the healer. But you don't heal them by talking to them, y'all. You heal them by literally spending time in your own energy. And they're going to question that about you. They're going to slowly notice how you're not seeking attention, nor you're not wanting to be somebody who's trying to flex or intimidate others. You're going to intimidate others, no way around that, because your energy is too much. It's too much, family. You have too much light that can't be ignored. So when you walk around, you will have people that are intimidated, or they just not going to like you because you call them out, y'all, simply by not giving a fuck. Think about it. Everybody around you, they crave attention, or they like to figure out what's going on in somebody else's day. But you, just your silence, just your focus, and your strange perception is going to give you that edge. But they're going to question it, but they're not going to know why you're that way, because they haven't lived a life like you. They haven't lived in hell for a long time and figured out that there's no way you can live in there without burning. So you gotta burn through, and just, that's how Phoenix is reborn, y'all. It's burned and it's, reborn from those ashes, right? Well, the fire can't touch you once you are activating out of that lighter body, y'all, because you don't feel it no more, because your body has literally metamorphosed with the fire. So you are fire currently, y'all. You just can't feel it. And that's why a lot of people always say, oh, it's too hot, or they don't like being around you, because you might end up burning them. It's not intentionally, y'all, but it's because your avatar it has a lot of energy, and energy that is in constant rotation, it heats up, y'all. That's literally science. That's literally a chemical reaction, family. That's how powerful your body is. Once the wielder is in true control, y'all, you must literally study all elements, y'all, and master, because you are the master. Little do you know, y'all, but the wielder, he can't do nothing, y'all, unless you take action. You know, don't worry about nothing going on, y'all, because it's all to keep you thinking, which is, you know, not good for your nervous system. Or you just might be, you know, giving your energy away when you need that to get shit done. If you work a job, y'all, or if you do something to gain money, but you gotta go around individuals, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you have the hustle within you to get up and go do something. Others ain't got that. You know, that's why they're asking for handouts or they lazy. Thank God that you have that ability to get up and go get it, because you don't like sitting down. You don't like staying still. You got to keep, you know, being active, because it strengthens your mind. It helps you be able to take the hits that are ready to hit you. You know, family? Everything's not about just boxing, y'all. You're going to get hit with life. You're going to get hit with reality. Especially if you're in school now and you ain't even, you know, got anything going for yourself, family. So I'm going to remind y'all right now, it is important to save your money if you have that, because we're going into a point in time to where money's not going to be necessarily important, but it's going to help you, because then again, you need money to get anything you want in this world, y'all. So I'll remind y'all, save that money. But your true money is your energy. And if you don't think I'm being serious, y'all, hold on to that and watch how many blessings start to unfold. Watch how many opportunities will hit your doorstep. Literally, everything's being thrown in front of you, y'all. It's up to the user, though, what you want to do, how you go about life. But once you take on this journey, y'all, I remind you, you're not going to want to go back, because you realize how fucking lost you were. You realize how dumb people were actually functioning, and you can't believe you were actually one of those beings, because not only does it make you sad, it also makes you question yourself on why were we never this way from the beginning. Because, family, you become uncontrollable, you become strong in the mental, and you're not seeking validation, y'all. People, that's one thing they don't like, y'all, is why don't you feel like you need to be somebody who doesn't have to talk to others. It's not that you feel like you better. It's preserving your energy. It's speaking when you have to. It's knowing thyself. It's, you know, trusting God in the process, y'all. You gotta trust in God, because He's gonna help you. He's gonna remind you that not everybody's for you. That's why they walk away from you, y'all. You're too potent for them. You know, think about it, y'all. Kings don't hang with peasants, right? Exactly. You're a king because you protect your energy. You actually glow out here. Your eyes signify dead eye. You know, locked in all the way. You're right here. You know, I'm not high. I'm not drunk, y'all. I'm myself. So as I give y'all this video, be mindful with yourself and question everything you are doing, y'all. You want to question it, everything. If you are drinking, smoking, ask yourself, why do you do this? What, you know, made you feel like you have to rely on a branch, y'all? Because we came down here organically with nothing but just hunger and you know, awareness. But all that shit you have blocked up, y'all, by feeding yourself things that you are stuck on. Whether you crave food like a drug, whether, you know, you can't take a break from smoking, y'all. I took a break from that shit, y'all, because one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, whether you like this or not, y'all, when you smoke every single day, y'all, it changes your perception on reality. It makes you look at life so differently. You look at life not necessarily like a game, but in a way to where you feel like you're slowly losing yourself, because you're not enjoying life anymore as much as you go on in that, you know, loophole. And I'm just trying to save y'all the time for anybody who smoked or has never smoked, but you are trying to. State your purpose. What's your reasoning for smoking, y'all? You know, are you trying to fit in and be like everybody on the media, or do you actually got problems going on and it helps you calm down? It's not the plant itself. It's the usage and it's overconsumption, you know? You can overconsume anything, y'all, and that's not good for you. There's a exact reason why when you go on these social media pages, you see everybody getting sick, going to the hospitals and shit. Because their body can't take it, y'all. You're killing yourself. That's not good. So think about this, family, because I want y'all to truly live and not feel like you're a slave to your desires, y'all. You know? If I can conquer that, you know, let's just say not vice, but that is literally your deity if you can't leave it alone. So if you could conquer that beast, you can conquer anything, which is your goals, which is, you know, problems you are facing, y'all. You just gotta stay calm and you gotta remain under pressure, because we back like we never left, family. You know, video had cut, but remember, your mind is your superpower, y'all. If you don't have control of your mind, well then you can lose your life at any moment in time, y'all, because your mind is literally what controls your reality, y'all. Because your brain is how you perceive things around you. That's what gives you the 5 senses. But remember, you don't want to rely on any kind of vice, y'all, because you have the Most High within you, y'all. You know, you can simply get high off of meditation, but you don't believe that because you're so quick to rush to something outside of yourself, y'all. You don't have no patience, y'all. And when you don't have patience, y'all, you have an imbalanced nervous system, and nothing's gonna come your way. No women, no money, nothing, because you're giving off this energy that's not attractive, y'all. Your body can't even consume light properly in that way because you're not where you're supposed to be mentally, y'all. And you can't absorb nothing, y'all, if you're not in a perfect state of perfection, you know, family. You might not get this, but you will once you rise in frequency, y'all. But remember, if you do smoke, so be it, y'all. It has its pros and it has its cons. But doing it every single day, y'all, especially smoking them carts, y'all, you're gonna get to a point where life just feels so unreal, y'all, that you're not gonna have no energy. You're gonna be unmotivated, and you're just gonna push the shit to the side. That wasn't me, y'all, but I still got rid of that because I noticed my energy wasn't high as it is now, and my awareness level is even higher because I'm literally here with y'all, family. This is me, my real self. You know, I'm not high right now, and I don't intend to be high for a while because I had just got done smoking, you know, and it feels good when you're sober, y'all, because you don't gotta rely on nothing. You can sleep peacefully, family. But not to get off track, y'all. Remember, the enemy will test you. No matter, the enemy could be anything or anyone. It's all about your reaction, though. Control how you react, y'all. Control who you are, you know. That's when they really will start to believe you really who you say you are, y'all. Because what they do don't affect you. They're gonna, you know, tempt you, or they're either gonna try to pick on you. But once you've risen so high in frequency, y'all, you realize that they are living in their ego. So that's normal for them to want to feel relevant, you know, because you were like them at one point as well. When you were living in that ego, y'all, think about it. You wanted every woman that you liked to know that you fucked with them. Why you think you always stared at them? Or why you think you was always around them? Maybe trying to talk to them. But you wanted them to know who you was. That's the ego. Because the ego wants to feel recognized. But once you rise so high in frequency, y'all, and you really protect your essence, you're not gonna care no more because you know who you are, and you know your powers from within, y'all. So you're not relying on nobody to make you feel like you found that peace. Because truthfully, y'all, it took you so long to find the peace that now you're looking at yourself like, man, nobody is worth my time. I have not yet discovered anybody who is worth my fucking energy. I'm not talking about family-wise because I'm not around family, but I'm talking about people in general, y'all, who are just, you know, trying to come in your frequency and trying to absorb what they can, but they won't be able to. And you will start to notice how they are getting sick by trying that, because the Most High is literally telling you without telling you that you're not on this frequency. So I suggest you know, rise on your own timing and have patience, because, you know, my frequency is going to fuck you up, man. Truthfully. And I only say this because this is science, y'all, and I don't want to lie to nobody. I want to keep it real with you, know. So, this was a video, family member. Don't ever believe what anybody says, y'all, until you have lived that way. So if You don't believe me, y'all, but you also never took on the journey. You don't know what life is. So trust your intuition. But if you are really curious, try it for yourself, family. And watch how these women, they break their necks for you, but they're also not gonna want to be around you when you get to a certain point, because that confidence, you show it off without showing it off, y'all. You know, you are so close to yourself that you do things that people can't do. Like, you actually, you know, you will feel yourself. So you say you might just dance in public, y'all, or you just gonna do things that show that you have that self-love. They're gonna feel intimidated by you, man. Boy, they will, because they don't understand why the fuck you feel so calm. Calm and lies within you. You don't find that outside of you on the bookshelf. And that's exactly why they're anxious and you're not, because you go within, y'all. They stay without. No other way around that. We can help you by telling you the message, but we can't force this shit inside of you, man. You must want peace. You must want a better life for you. But this was the video, family. I'll see y'all in the next one, man. And we rising, man. So if you are starting something, keep going, because we will all win in a couple years from now. I say we will.